Skateboards, and you're watching Days with Casper. Here at Life Skateboards, we handcraft skateboard decks, best we can make for you, and we do it all in-house. We press the boards, shape the boards, and apply graphics right here at Life Skateboards. A little bit different today. I've got an AI tripod, and I have commands I can do for it. Watch this. Whoop, whoop. Hey, you guys are going to be following me today. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time, I think. So we're going to start off today. Look at that. I can make it stop. We're going to start off today clearing out off the presses. I got myself a new scraper for the separators. And then we're going to load up this guy with some monster boards, 7 plies, because we're a little bit short. And then the standard press over here. We're going to load this guy. Hold up here. Sorry, I am learning this AI tripod thing. There he goes. All right, yeah, there we go. Perfect. And then we're going to load this guy up with 4 more 7-ply standards. So, I am going to empty this out over here. We're going to stop the AI tripod from moving around. And let's get going here. So these boards have been under pressure for a minimum of 24 hours before they cure. I am enjoying it. Yeah, it took me a while. Huge shout out to Tim for it. I actually have another mount on the back of the phone with a light to the side of it right now. I might end up taking that off because it looks like it's putting some strain on the tripod. But we're making this work. Oops. These nubs are a little rounded off. Yep, looks like I need to go get a different tool. I also just made myself a little tool rack over here and stuff. I'm pretty stoked on it. Retro. Starting to live off with some problems. There we go. Couldn't get that jack to release. All right, there goes that one. All right, so we're just going to be lowering the presses here, labeling them, and setting up the press with the monster mold. And remember, you can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. Again, that's lifeskateboard.com. Make you a 90s punk board? Well, I'd highly suggest you go to lifeskateboard.com, check out all the different shapes we've got. We've got punk points, we've got fat punk points. If you want something from the 90s, we got something in there too. We've also got shapes that are named after the year they were inspired by, like the 1982, 1982.5, 1986. We got tons of stuff. Check us out. And when you order a board, you're likely going to see it pressed, shaped, and everything here on the channel. I don't normally do the graphics here because we got on the lives, we do them here at the shop. But it's in the printing and shipping studio up there. I have to do a personal graphic today, so we're going to try. And either the live is going to end with a horrible connection, or you guys are going to see some graphic application at the end of this. So I got to put the date that these were put in, and then they go into a stack of their own concave. I'm going to set you guys over here so it doesn't, it is real hard to choose, isn't it, Green Thumb? There's like hundreds of them. Thank you, I appreciate it. You know what's cool? We got an AI tripod here. There it is. Now it'll follow me around while I'm doing work. Here we go. So this needs to go in a stack of longs. And I got to double check the one that's an 8-ply, because that was specifically for an order. If there's a problem with it, I got to repress them. Huge shout out to Tim again for this AI tripod thing, because it's pretty cool. It's following me around the shop. Thanks, Green Thumb. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. It freaked out because I got too close to it. There's some settings on here that I don't have figured out all the way yet, but we're making it work. So if you see me making weird hand signals at the camera, I'm trying to get the camera to stop doing what it's doing. All right. Labeling these guys. This is normally what I do before the live start, but I figured since I got something to follow me around, I don't have to focus on the camera. I can just do this. If you guys have any questions about board making, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. All right, moment of truth on this 8-ply here. What's it looking like? Looks like we're pressing another 8-ply. So I'm gonna have to do some finagling around over here to get this to work. But now we get to test out my new scraper. Come on, tripod, follow me, dang it. I tried so hard to make that work, it did not work. There we go. I will figure this thing out eventually, and you guys can be entertained while I figure it out. I promise. It should be fun for everybody. See if this works like I wanted it to. Yes! I got smart. Got a scraper that is the full size of these things. Look at that. Nice, clean, and quick. That just made my job so much quicker. So right now I'm just removing the excess glue from the separators. These separators not only separate the board from each other, but also keep some of the excess glue off of the press itself. So what we're gonna be doing today, now that I just discovered I have to press another 8-ply, we were gonna fit 3 monsters in here. We're only gonna fit 2 and 1 8-ply long. Sorry if I'm not keeping up with the chat here. You're asking me if, yeah, do I listen to punk bands? Yes, sir. Saw DRI in Fort Wayne, was that 2 years ago? I don't go to a lot of shows. Powell Peralta's flight decks are super strong, but they're not all wood construction. The industry could have stopped cutting corners on all wood construction boards a long time ago. But watching from Spain, thank you. Thanks, Green Thumb. I appreciate you. Their price points are made by their partners in China, though, so I can't really talk about that. All right, so we are just going to use 2 of these separators for this. Got to clean this press off a little bit, so bear with me for a moment here. Grow up and listen to Barry Manilow. You know what's funny? Actually, that's ironic. Somebody had made a joke about Barry Manilow before we had a session the other day, so I made sure I used Barry Manilow music for for an edit. Just knocking the excess glue off of this thing. Let's get you guys following me again. Sorry about the hand signals. I've got an AI tripod here I'm trying to learn how to use. Got to remove some excess glue that the separator didn't catch. There's those 2. All right. There we go. Now I can physically move you guys around. All right, so I have to cut 4 monster ply crossbands out of these master sheets here, and we're just gonna do that on the ground. It's easier to get these out of master sheets, and these things are 15 inches wide, which is why we're cutting them down. You guys are gonna just see all the stuff that you don't normally see on my lives today. And I am enjoying that I don't have to worry about the the tripod going all over the place while I'm doing stuff like this. All right. And sorry if I'm not getting to the chat. This is the stuff that I don't tend to show you guys that I'm doing on the live because I know I'm not very attentive while I'm doing it. All right, and there's a wide sheet. We try to use every bit of these plies that we can. Now I'm going to be cutting these into crossbands. Now, a crossband is the horizontal grain that's inside of your board. So this is what gives the board strength in every direction here. Again, this is just not something I normally do on the lives. This is something I do before the lives, but I figured I'd show you guys some of the stuff we do here. Some of the stuff you just don't normally get to see from us. Now bear with me while I grab a fresh blade here. One moment. Where did we put the razor blades? There they are. Fresh blades make this easy work. All right. One crossband. Looks like we're gonna get 2 out of each sheet here. I'm just now realizing how bad that angle is, but stick around, you'll actually see some gluing and pressing. All right, there's 2 of them. We just got to get 2 more of those prepared, and we will be good to go. Double checking lengths here. Perfect. All right. Grab one more master sheet here and get to it. Turn that up here with the longs. And we turn this into 2 master sheets. And then we're gonna get to emptying out the standard press and moving along to gluing and pressing. Blade came loose on me. All right. That's marked there. Knocking veneer over behind me. Whoops. All right, and there's the crossband prep. And we're good to go. We got our 4 crossbands here, and we're gonna need to pull the layups for the monster boards and probably cut those longer plies down. Did I miss a question? I actually had an older AI tripod that was a lot more fragile than this thing. Huge shout out to Tim for that AI tripod, by the way. I think we're just gonna go ahead and cut stuff down now. Pull a couple of faces. That's a core, 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 core. There's a face. Let's check if this blem is outside. Sometimes, yep, there we go. Sometimes this veneer has a blemish just outside of where we need the board to be usable, so we get to use a blemished face, blemished core as a face. There we go. So we got our 4 faces here. I'm gonna throw 3 cores in between those. And I will turn you guys this way. I gotta go cut it in the other room right here. Is that project super slim? So here, let me grab some. We carry youth boards, so we have crossbands that are that tiny. That's a good eye there. Good assumptions and good eye there. All right, so I'm gonna go right in the other room right there. You guys will probably be able to see a little bit of me. I'm going to mark one of these real quick so that we know the length I need to do this at. And then we'll get in there and cut these down. And we're gonna have everything the same exact size to throw in that press. Putting my hair up so I'm safe. And we will step right in the other room here. First, I'm gonna tape these together so they don't want to pop around on me. You're gonna see me tape here. All right, be right back. Just gotta cut these guys down. I don't know if you guys can see me through the glass. I can barely see the phone. Alrighty, coming back in there. And let's throw these crossbands into here. There's those 7. And these 7. All right, and next we have to pull an 8-ply. Gonna follow me around here. Come on, camera. Looks like the tripod turned off on me. There we go. All right, so now we are gonna pull long veneer for an 8-ply. So those were 7-ply boards. These are 8-ply boards. So an 8-ply just has an extra 4. Shifting the outer core around here. Double checking the faces so we don't end up with another split. And we're good to go. Now, I don't normally fit long and monster in at the same time to the press, but we're gonna try it. I'm gonna freeze the, oh cool, it actually worked. I need to freeze the AI tripod real quick. All right, and now we are going to empty out the standard press, which is where our 925 and below boards come from. All right. There we go. I gotta make hand signals to make this tripod work, so bear with me while that's happening. But that is going to be extremely helpful for the board making parts of the live where I want to show off parts of the process to you guys. Again, looks like I'm needing that tool. There we go. And again. All right, now we just gotta lower this guy, get these guys out, label them, and we're on to pressing after we pull the layups for this. And these standard ones are a lot easier and quicker to pull the layups for. Under 70? What do you mean? No. You want to pay for garbage, you're going to pay for garbage. That's just how that works. $75 for popsicles from here, and then shapes go up from there, and that's an extremely, extremely competitive price with everything on the market. These boards last a really long time. They're handcrafted. They last a long time. Get your board from a crafter, like Life Skateboards. All right. 2, 17, 26. All right, these are going to go in a stack of their own concave for 7 days. How many plies in it? It depends on you, but the standard is going to be 7 for most of our boards. We have youth boards that come as a standard 6. We suggest 6 on our 15 and up, but you can get a 6, 7, or 8 ply from us. Good questions. These guys I'm pulling out right now are 7 plies, but we are pressing an 8 ply long with the monsters today because the one I pulled out this morning was split. Thank you, Green Thumb. I do love it. All right, one more to label, and then I just got to clean these off, pull the layup, and then we're on to pressing boards. Isn't that exciting? You guys get to see the first step in board making. I've been having a habit of writing 24 instead of 26 lately. It's 2026 in case you guys are wondering. I need a reminder sometimes. I don't know. Stop so I can read. There we go. How long do they have to dry for? So 24 hours in the press and then 7 days curing. It's not about drying, it's about curing. You want that glue to cure with the maple. All right, let me grab my new scraper. And now I'm just scraping the excess glue off of these separators here. Probably out of frame. Again, this is stuff I tend to do before the lives, but figured I'd give you guys the full experience now that I have the tripod that follows me around. All right, so these guys are good to go. Nope, one more here. Missed a spot. All right, now we're good. Throw this back over here. Bring you guys around here, and we will pull the layup for standards, and then we are good to get pressing. Just cleaning off this scraper here. All right, let's bring you guys over this way, and we will get to pulling the layups for standards. Note, what you're watching is backwards. This is a front-facing camera. Blew your mind right there. Alrighty, we need naturals. So I'm gonna be pulling all 8 natural faces. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. My camera guy sucks. My camera guy is AI. Sorry, bud. We got an AI tripod working here, which I'm pretty stoked on. Huge thank you to Tim for that. Fire the camera guy? Oh no. I wouldn't do that. We already did that once. Hold on. Let's let you guys follow me around. There's another setting where it like tracks to my hands. Oh, cool. No, wait, it's tracking to my face this time. Otherwise, it's tracking to the most movement. I don't really need face tracking for this. You guys aren't looking at me, you're looking at board making. All right, let's throw the crossbands in here, and then we are good to get going. Not liking a couple of these cores in here, so we are swapping those out. And remember guys, you can get these handcrafted boards at lifeskateboard.com. If you want to see all the shapes, options, and sizes that we have, you can check them out there. I'm the hourly employee here, so the more boards you order, the more work I get, the more I get to show you, the easier my life is. all around great. So thank you guys for the support that have already supported, and those of you thinking about it, thank you as well. All right. So we are going to go ahead and start with, let's see, I think I had to start with the 8-ply long. It's been a while since I've done it in this order here. Come on, there we go. All right, let's stop the camera for a minute. Stop. There you go. And I'm gonna lower you guys down, set you up on the table with me. The ramp is in where we used to make boards, up in Muncie, Indiana. We used to have a ramp over here. Now I just go to the skate park when I'm done with work. But we still have access to that spot, and we host public sessions up there. Good questions. Is there a difference in Everslick slide viscosities? I don't make Everslicks, so I don't have an answer for that one. I love it, Green Thumb. That bowl is where I trained after I broke my leg. That's where I got everything back. It's where I did most of my PT. I actually got a tattoo in that bowl. I love that place. You used to live close to Muncie. Well, then you should remember Life Skateboards. There was a shop in the early 2000s. And then he started making boards in 2012. You're Australian. Well, you've got some cool board makers over there as well. How good is the quality? Amazing, my friend. What do you mean? Handcrafted, high quality boards that are made to last and rival the industry. You're not going to see a heat transfer here. You're not going to see a glue machine missing plies. You're just going to see every step of the process, making sure that you get the best quality board that we can make you. All right. So we're going to hand roll the glue on all of these to ensure full glue coverage. I see that you guys have a ton of parks there. Yep, that was Sam, same owner. Same owner. We moved the shop a couple of years ago. When I started here, I was commuting to Muncie every day. Ever been to the skate park in Columbus, Indiana? Hell yeah. I actually filmed a part of a video there, and I go there for a lot of contests. This guy got done by Matt Jackson after Sam Crawford gave it to me at a contest down there at Columbus. I've been all over, guys. There's a period of time where I was doing park tour videos. Fort Wayne does have a nice park. That would be Lawton. My old board sponsor is in Fort Wayne. If you guys don't know, there is a contest in Fort Wayne at Slam City this weekend that I'll be at competing. Awesome, Smokey. Love to see that. What's up, Guitar? What's up, Benji, I mean? Is this LP Benji? That'd be pretty neat if it was. I was at LP till 1 a.m. last night. 3 sessions at the same skate park in one day. Awesome, yeah. Was that when they were doing the Creature Tour video? Yeah, the couple of my old teammates are in that. Love those guys. The Dead End crew. Megan and Ricky, I believe, were in that. Megan and David. See, that's so mild, I'll just say it. See more butts. See more butts. Just for you, I'll say it. From Russia, thank you for tuning in. Really cool to hear people are watching from all over the world. If you don't know what you're watching Life Skateboards be made. Currently gluing up an 8-ply long. We're going to get that in the press and then glue up 2 monster 7-plies. Throw them in there. These are some pretty wide boards that we're pressing today. You haven't seen me at Q in a while? Well, there's some reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into it online. I tend to go before they open, my friend. If I'm going to go. I've got a private bowl up in Muncie that I can skate. There's a ramp in Waldron. I've been traveling all over the place. Been out in Cleveland area. Been up in Muncie. Over in Mansfield, Ohio. Down at Sprack in Louisville. There's lots of other places to skate. Cruising around Indiana roads, they are awful. If you're talking about like going distances and not talking about skating, get yourself some like soft shark wheels. And I'm serious about Indianapolis. And if you guys aren't from Indiana, yes, we received that vote for best roads in the country. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. We have the worst roads. They are awful. I don't know, Roaz, if you have any questions about our boards, I got you. Once again, we just focus on all wood construction here because we feel like people that are going to the non-all wood construction boards have missed the point where the industry cut corners in production. They took a cut to the quality so that they could get more quantity out. And that comes in the use of a glue machine. That comes in the graphic application process and lots of other things as well. You're from Michigan, but Indiana sucks. Yes, it does. I don't know how your guys' roads are up there, but man, I don't know how we won that. Like, it's been a joke for everybody here. Yeah, we're getting tons of skate parks. I don't know. Indiana's roads suck, but we got such a diverse state and a bunch of diverse cities that can't really say everything sucks because everything's different. You know, there's some people that suck, and a lot of the times in Indiana, the people that suck are pretty loud, but it gets good. I like it here. Yeah, I take trips up there. We've got a guy on our team up in Battleground area. It'll be Lyle Wall. I think that's why people say they don't like Indiana or don't like Indy or whatever, is because there is such a diversity that there are going to be people that you strongly dislike here, but there's going to be people you love here. So, deciding to stay in this scene and stick with my community is involved understanding that there's people that are going to exist that I don't like, and as long as they're not a danger to me or the community, they can just keep on existing elsewhere. What does it take to be a skater for the Life team? I don't know. I don't make that decision. It's about good fit, sobriety, and skateboarding potential. The younger guys on our team, there we go, now you're following me. The younger guys on our team, it was very clear that they were going to go somewhere. It would be like Gavin Stetlick, Key, Jax, they're killing it. And then the older guys on the team would be like Justin Hutchins. He is an insane skater with a beautiful recovery story. Lyle is a longtime friend of Sam. Screen printer up in Battleground. Very creative and fun skater. Jake Daney. That should be self-explanatory. I met him out in Pennsylvania, and amazing skater. I'm gonna bring you guys over here with me. No, sir, we don't smoke. I quit. That's a personal choice, not a judgment. Thanks, James. These guys on the walls here are finished boards. Thanks for seeing those. Alright, so now we're going to do something a little different than we normally do. We're going to set this center mold aside that we normally throw in there and throw in the flat upper part of the mold. Make sure that's nice and smooth. It is. So now we just got to make sure this is aligned properly, and then we can fit the monster mold in here. And then we'll get to gluing those monster boards up. All right. And ready for the monster mold. This is the 15-inch monster mold right here. This thing is a beast. And when we need them, we just slide it right in here. We'll put those two boards right here, and we'll throw the upper piece on, throw the youth board on top of that. It'll be a tight fit, but we're going to make it work. In fact, I can get a little bit more room out of these jacks, I'm noticing. There we go. Perfect. Let's get back over here and press some monster boards. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you, Shazka. We're based out of Indiana, middle of the United States over here. Let's see if I missed anything. Hi there, Green Thumb. Once again, it's just a blanket thing, my friend. We're in Indiana. It's not here yet. Let's be real honest about those medical issues as well. You're not talking about people that have never done something either. We're talking about people that have done pretty much everything and made these decisions for ourselves and the things around us. It's about our environment, not yours. You know what I mean? No judgment on you for your choices. We just control the environment around us, which is necessary for sobriety. Hey, I appreciate that. Do we have exclusive concaves? Yep, we have an extremely deep concave that we're very proud of here at Life Skateboards. If you want the exact specs on it, you can go check our reviews, because we have one negative review, and it's someone who took the time to measure our concave and say that it was too deep. We went ahead and quoted that review for an ad. But we have extremely deep concave. Our long press is the same concave as the wide press, just a little bit different on the kicks. Youth press, same deal, just kind of smashed down. Same with the standard, a little bit tighter though. As far as our standard boards go though, we do offer two concaves, our mellow and standard. But our standard is extremely deep. And these boards are available at lifeskateboard.com. Again, concaves nearby I could show. What I'm doing right now is a little bit time sensitive, so let me make sure I finish this up, and I will see if there's anything I can show you guys. I mean, our deep concave is our standard concave, so it's what you guys normally see from us, but I will show you anyway. I mean, this is from the middle of a wide board right here. This is my dog. I cut her out. I would love doing it for more than a survivor. You guys can change that by getting a life at lifeskateboard.com. Handcrafted goodness. guaranteed against delam, and you get exactly what you want, and it's made for you. Not made for a skate shop shelf. I'm sorry, a warehouse shelf, and then possibly a skate shop shelf, and then possibly your feet. It's straight to you. I do love it. Hey! You just went skating at your local. Where's your local? I went skating today, as long as 1 a.m. counts as today still. My session from yesterday ran into today. Does that help? I posted some lines, posted a bunch of shorts of board making and some highlights from the live session we had over in the Cleveland area. Huge thank you to Blake for filming all that stuff. He is rad. All right. My glue bottle is not wanting to empty itself out here. There we go. That would be cool. I hope they start working on it. Remember, get to those park board meetings. And also remember, red tape takes a long time. I volunteer with a nonprofit that takes care of parks and works with cities. And I have been learning how long red tape takes. It's a while. That is for sure. What's a good beginner board that you can do? So, I mean, I don't really think there's much of a difference between beginner boards and the board that you're going to fall in love with besides your own personal preference. As far as boards from us, I would say like our twins, which are symmetrical square nose and tails that taper towards the middle, offered in 8.1, 8.6, and 9.1. Those would be a good not popsicle shape. Popsicles are what everybody skates. Difference between a square tail and a popsicle is how much control you get with what part of the board touches the ground when you pop from where on the tail. Both are pretty easy to do everything with. If you get used to one, it just takes some getting used to when you ride the other one. From Germany, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, man. These are all finished boards from us right here. At least these ones over here are on this side of the wall. These ones from here over, those are templates for shapes. And after we're done pressing these guys here, I will take you guys into the next room and show you the shaping room where all the templates are. Templates are flat, boards are quite the opposite. You would get a DGK board. So you're not going to hear a suggestion to get crap from the guy that's making craft boards. And what am I going to call crap? Factory boards. Does it have a heat transfer? Then the person that made it didn't give a shit about how long it lasts for you. Heat is the thing that weakens the bond between wood and glue. Regardless of the fact that the majority of the industry uses a heat transfer because it's super easy to mass produce boards and it's easy to pass on the damage to the customer with them thinking that they're the problem. We don't like that here. So we do lino blocks. Companies that do screen printing, awesome. Remember, if you pay for a cheap board, you're going to pay for that cheap board twice. Follow me. All right. Alrighty, we're going to throw these guys in here, this one in here, and move on to the next one. Did you guys follow me? I don't know. Yay, it worked. There you go. Anti-heat transfer everywhere. I'm very honest. Owl ale. So you're going to hear my honest opinions on what crap is going to be. Because remember, if you start off with a crap board, it's just not going to last very long. This is coming from the guy that used to work in a skate shop, was getting paid a board a week for part of my pay because I was going through a deck a week and thought that was just normal because that's all boards are the same. And then I found these boards and now I'm one of the guys making them. Before I found these, I thought that the strongest boards that were all wood construction you could get were going to be ones that were silk screened, like my old sponsor. But here we do everything a little bit different. No glue machines, no heat, just high quality, long lasting, handcrafted skateboard decks made just for you. And remember guys, you can get these at lifeskateboard.com. If you're new to the channel, things you can expect to see here, obviously, board making. I have a series called Lagoon to the Moon, where I travel around with some homies, film a video. I've still got to edit one right now. With an anchor spot in Columbia Station, Ohio at the Lagoon, owned by the original owner of TriStar. They have their own YouTube channel called The Fireball Farm. You should go subscribe to them and expect some really cool stuff. How many decks do I make a day? It really depends on orders. Everything is order dependent. There's some days where I don't have to make anything. There's some days where I'm loading all the presses. There's some days where I'm rushing in here at the end of the 24 hours to make sure we can load that up and get as many boards in as possible. Today, we're pressing 7. And very soon I'll be back in here shaping a big stack. You guys can make me in here all the time and bump that number up. Just got to get boards from us. And then watch them get made live here on the channel. A new rolling pin. Now we're good. But thanks for the suggestion. You gonna make me one? That's super neat. Can yo? I honestly don't know. First of all, it's only like a month or two in. I really have no clue. I don't keep track of any of that. I am the hourly employee here. I see stacks of boards. I make them. I don't count. How many plies? Just 8? No, 7. These guys are 7. That first one that I just pressed was 8. Can you make a snowboard? Not really, no. Although some people have made these boards into snow skates. I just make skateboards, all wood construction. There's more, I believe it's like epoxy or fiberglass in snowboard making. But also the other thing is I don't snowboard, so that's an expensive hobby. I skate. You would want your snowboard maker to be able to snowboard probably. Just like, I don't know, the guy that, if a guy's making guitars, I want him to be able to play guitars because he understands what he's making. Here you've got a skateboarder making your skateboard. So if that makes sense, we stick with what we know. Although the channel will probably have a visit to Perfect North next year. Can you show me your glue board? This? The board that covers the glue when we're done? How do you know that exists? It's going all right. Bath time? Oh, Yeah, I see. You were responding to another person, and I got confused. Sorry, guys. Peace. Have a good time, Shane. I don't know what you're doing today, but I hope it's a good one. Alrighty. I'll make you guys follow me again. That was cool. I do enjoy how this thing responds to hand signals. If only it would zoom in on me. But this isn't like hooked up to my phone or anything. It is a camera on a tripod that moves around while it's got my phone in the mount, which is really cool. Huge shout out to Tim for getting me this thing. All right, let's bring you guys over here. In Indy, you know it, man. Got it tattooed on my hand. You just got to read it backwards. We're actually 20 minutes east of Indy making boards in New Pal, but I live in Indy. Alrighty. Put this guy in here, and remember, this is going to be a bit of a tight fit, but we are going to make it work. Knocking boards off the wall here. I got the tripod stopped so it doesn't move around on us, but I'm going to probably bring you guys up to be able to see this a little bit closer when we're ready to press this. Slide the upper mold in, and then the youth mold. And like I said, this is gonna be tight, but we're gonna make it work. And that's how you make that work. Sweet. That was a lot less struggling than I thought it was going to be. Good job. All right, so now we just got to double check alignment, make sure that nothing went out of alignment while we were moving that upper bit. Make sure these are good end to end and side to side. Come this way just a tiny bit. Alrighty, looks like these are about good to go. We're going to go ahead and raise these up now. And right before it gets pressure on it, I'm going to double check everything, realign it as if we have to. Just got to lock these guys down and we are getting good to get going here. Give it an extra little twist here. Now these were hooked up as pneumatic jacks at one point, but we moved the shop from Muncie to New Pal. We haven't hooked up the air compressor since. All right, let's raise these up then. Yep, it's skateboards. Oops. Stop moving. Stop it. There we go. Sorry about that. How long do the skateboards last? It really depends on you. When I started skating those boards, before I was one of them making them, I was going through a deck a week on factory boards, and then these boards started to last me like a month and a half, 2 months. So, a lot longer. Now, I retire these before they're broken. Everything still looks good and aligned here. Go ahead and send it. So I'm going to bring you guys up this way. What do I hang the glue bottle? I'll show you in a minute here. The glue bottle is upside down so it continues to drip so we can use every bit of it. But you guys are going to watch the board start to get its kick, and then inside you got the concave happening. All right. Double checking alignment as we go here. Skating is my life too. Sure am. All right, when these were pneumatic jacks, you kind of timed the distance between the pops. If you don't know what that means, probably haven't worked with pneumatic jacks. But when we're doing this, go until it can hold my body weight. And that's good to go. So I will show you the double in the middle. Yep, so actually this setup is very interesting. Most of the time, because we never want to put more than 3 in between each mold right here. Start putting more than 3, you're going to get different concaves against them. So this down here is our long. We can usually fit 4 of those in here. But I took the centerpiece out so that this mold would fit in. This is the monster mold. So this is 15 inches wide. It's pretty massive. And then up here, this is our youth mold. So this has the same concave as our standard, but the kicks are closer together. We suggest 6 plies for all those for the kiddos. We got several shapes in that concave and size, but this is a pretty versatile press right here. There's your kick. So I'll let you answer that. Pretty standard. Using airbags. So what you're suggesting is called vacuum sealing. It is a method to get boards done pretty slowly and not very many at a time. I wish you could see the concave from the side view, but hold on a second. Let me see if there's a way I can show you the concave. You know what? Bear with me for a second. I know there's a blemished board out there I can probably cut in half. Let me show you that way. Do they actually last for life? No, they're just called life because skateboarding and sobriety gave my boss a new life, a new lease on life, just like sobriety gave me a new lease on life. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to go find a board I can cut in half to show you the concave. Look at that. It's going to stay there. Dang, do I not have any blends out here? I don't think I do. Dang it. Well, I can show you with this stuff. So there's how deep our concave is, as you can just see by how thick the board looks from the side. Very proud of our concave. This is here from a video I edited very poorly. It's a glass of dust. All right, let's get back in here and press some boards. I could, but then the nose and tail is going to block you. I wish I had another way to show you that. Give me another second here. I mean, I can do that. Let me lower this down. Any good back doctors? I don't know. The concrete at my local park does wonders for me. Good concrete massage every once in a while is good for the back and good for the sole. See, you can't really see that at all. There's no point in that. We'll try this here. So obviously concave depth is going to change based on how wide the board is, all right? But I can measure on this. This is a 10.5. And it has a depth of 1.5, sorry, about 3/4 inch deep on the concave there. Dang, dude. Message retracted. That's silly. But all right, I'm gonna put these back, and we're gonna get to pressing those standards. And if you're lucky, maybe we'll go and do the graphic on my board. But it looks like our battery's not doing very well. I just reached for the non-existent scorpion hook on the back there. Yeah, the mega boards are definitely deeper. All right, now we're gonna get through the standards, and I probably should have said this on the last one, but it is what it is. If you guys, come on, follow me. There it goes. If you guys do like a super, or what is it, super chats or super thanks or whatever those things are, make sure you put a note, and I'll write it inside the board. I used to write little motivational notes inside of all the boards. So now you guys can be a part of it. Do we also have graphics? So these are our boards right here. If you haven't noticed, all of these right here. We, as I said while I was talking about DGK and heat transfers, we apply all of our graphics with hand-carved lino blocks. So not only do we do graphics, but we do it right. We commission a local artist to carve the relief image, and then we apply all of the graphics by hand. We have control over placement, color, we can do collages, and all kinds of fun stuff. And as I just said a second ago, we might even do that today. So I'll be right back. Let me grab the layups here that we pulled for standard, and we'll get going. All right. I am liking this AI tripod. It's pretty rad. So we don't use a glue machine here to ensure full glue coverage on every side of every ply. A glue machine gets both sides of the veneer, so they're going to skip their top and bottom faces. We don't like that here. So I am the glue machine. And also remember, these boards are available at lifeskateboard.com. Thank you. It is very beautiful, isn't it? One look in the camera and you knew bro was on the Zaza. I actually haven't smoked in, I think it was 4 years now? No, you're talking to an addict in recovery. They quit everything, my friend. It's a pretty dumb thing to say to people. But then again, people on the internet have nothing better to do, I guess. Some of you guys are here for fun. Sorry. Come over here. There we go. Stay right there and stop moving around. All right, tripod? You're making Dusty dizzy. It is a bit skittish. I think it's because I've got like another mount on the top of my phone and it's reacting to the weight of it. Oh, sorry. What do I hang the glue bottle on? I made this. So that is a little glue dripper right there that the glue bottle hangs on. I'm so sorry. How long have I been in recovery? I quit drinking and most drugs. Probably, I think it's almost been 8 years. And then I quit smoking, quit doing hallucinogenics and all that fun stuff when I started here. Now I use my experience in my recovery to openly talk about it, to set an example for people that are in active addiction that you can get out of it. There is a chance on the other side. Your life's not over because of addiction. I don't talk about these things to make judgments on other people. I talk about these things for the people that it's going to help, not the people it's going to insult. And if you're a first-time viewer, you're watching handcrafted skateboards be made at Life Skateboards, which are available at lifeskateboard.com. You're gonna catch me talking about sobriety a lot, the skateboard industry, how we do these things, and just fun stuff sometimes. We just hang out and talk sometimes. So if you're going all the way through apply while you're skating, that sucks. That means the board, you've compromised the integrity of the board. But we do have some color veneer. We don't dye it. Our supplier dyes the veneer. We're pretty low on it at the moment. But what we do is we get all face quality boards, and then we set the core aside, and we can use that inside the board for some colors. And there's some stuff on the wall here I'll show you that's got some good examples of that. We are a little low on color core at the moment. The last order we got had like 4 pieces of core in it, which is great for us. 1 second here. Looks to me like this the phone needs to be plugged in. You ride on an 8 or 8.1. Well, we got tons of stuff in your size, including an 8.1 twin. We got all kinds of shit. Check us out, lifeskateboard.com, man. All kinds of popsicles, over 100 shapes available on the website. I'm not gonna make you guys sick by making the tripod spin around while I'm grabbing the tape. So I'll just tape this out of frame. What I'm doing over here is just taping the ends of the boards up, so once it goes in the press, they stay in place. All right. Move on to the next one here. 825 twin nose, you know that we can do that. Any shape we have, we can twin it because we're the ones making it. When you ask a board brand that doesn't make their own boards, can I have this? You're asking them, do you have this made for you? Here at Life Skateboards, we do everything in-house. So if you want something, we can make it. If you see like a popsicle that you want twin nosed, you can do that. You want a weird shape like our shovel. Someone recently said that shovel nose would look cool as a twin. So I suggested it to Sam and he made the shape. Sam makes all the templates himself, but we've got over 100 shapes. Check us out, lifeskateboard.com. I even posted a short where I was listing off almost all the names. It took a very long time, but I think it served its purpose. Wow, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I was kind of slowing down on lives there for a minute, so it's nice to see those numbers bump back up again. You guys are awesome. From Australia, we got a couple of you guys in here. Awesome bloggins. But yeah, if you see something on the if you see something on the website you have questions about, feel free to message me about it. You can get a hold of me at Stranger Casper on Instagram. Some questions are gonna have to be answered by the owner Sam, and he runs the Life Skateboards Instagram account. He handles all of the ordering side of everything, does custom shapes, all that fun stuff, does the shipping, everything that I don't do. What I do here at Life Skateboards is I glue the boards, I sort the veneer, I press the boards, I clean the presses, pull the veneer, pull the pressed boards, and after Sam cuts the shape out, I shape the rest. Every once in a while I do graphics. In fact, I might be doing my own graphic today, depending on how this live goes. Hey, thank you for the high five. High five. Full glue coverage. Hey, if you guys like what you're watching, double tap that screen for me. I hate to say all the YouTube cliches I gotta say, but the other thing is, if you like what you're watching, subscribe, because I have nothing that resembles a schedule. So you just gotta kind of catch me or turn on notifications so you know when I'm on here. I try to post a little bit of a heads up, but I'll be honest, I'm bad at that. Gotta be honest with yourself here. Bad crossband. Felt a little weird on the pole, so I put a little extra pressure on it. That's part of the hand rolling the glue here, is the quality control on the plies themselves. I do enjoy that. Skateboard making, my friend. Thanks for tuning in, Kevin. Which one? We got the spider on one side and a snake on the other. But I'm sure you'll see it eventually. Let me get done with this. I got glue on my hands. I'm not going to mess with my hair. The spider web was done by Matt Jackson, who is now the owner of Redbird Tattoo and Skate. And the snake was done by Chris Canoonan, who has been bouncing around from Masterworks all the way out to OKC. Amazing artists. Check them out. Nice, King. I was a guinea pig for a long time during active addiction, so I have a ton of tattoos that aren't the best because I was a test subject. The majority of the time, I was not a conscious test subject. Dumb decisions. Is there a layer count standard? Yep, 7. 7 is your standard. Now, if we're doing youth boards, it's going to be 6. But you can ask for a 6, 7, or 8. If you don't change what you're wanting on your order, it's going to be a 7 ply. Sorry, we got an AI tripod here. I'm not trying to give people motion sickness while I'm taping boards up. But it is, I'm figuring it out. This thing is working pretty well. Probably need to adjust some settings on it, but we'll figure it out. And you guys will figure it out with me. How about that? All right, 2 more to glue up and then we'll raise the presses up. Shadow, I have absolutely no clue. I don't know what things look like on your end at all. That's rad. My boss was skating in the 80s. I wasn't born yet. Skater top 3. Ooh. Now, are we talking about people I know, influential, or just all together? There's lots of categories, man. Like current skaters, top in my opinion. You got Tom Scar, Chris Jocelyn, Grayson Fletcher. Those are 3 pretty big ones. Obviously, Andy Anderson's also pushing the envelope. But if we want to talk about people that have had huge contributions to skateboarding, you've got Rodney Mullen for the undisputed most tricks invented out of anybody. We got Chris Weddle, who created the Weddle Grab, as is currently and correctly called, which is the base for a ton of different really cool tricks. Man, I'm gonna have to say Bam, because I love Bam. Joffrey is in the top there too. You get experience for every comment you send. All right, everybody, that's pretty cool. What does the experience go towards? That's pretty rad. That's a good 3 right there. I'm gonna be real honest. When you said TJ, I assumed you were talking about TJ Rogers because we were talking about skateboarders, and that's also a pretty top tier one right there, especially with his current recovery story. Great job. For what they brought to the sport, attitude. Okay, now that is a completely different question. Attitude, Mike B. There's one. I don't care, don't tell me how to skate, I'm going to skate exactly how I want to. That was a huge influence on my skating. Bam is not the new Jay. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think very different people. That's my opinion, though. You also have an opinion, so if he's that to you, then I'll respect that. Similar recovery story? Kinda. I mean, Bam's recovery story involves the manipulation of people that were keeping him in rehab constantly and not actually helping, but making it seem like they were helping. Just different, you know what I mean? Very similar, but different. Not to put either of them down, that's at all, in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? I know Bam has. I went out there for 5 days after I met him here. The first thing we talked about was sobriety. We sat down and had an interview about sobriety. Jaws is pretty dope too. That's correct. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so much skill in so many directions. It's so hard to name them. And then I'm going to make a list and then be mad at myself later for not leaving people in there that I love. Plus, I want to, prop up the local guys, like AJ Nelson from Kokomo, Indiana, that rides for Demon Seed. That guy's got front side inverts, like always. He's wild. And he's from Indiana. You got Jeff Kendall from Indianapolis. That started NHS. Lots of influential changes and cool things in skateboarding. And then you got losers in skateboarding that have done horrible, horrible things and gotten away with it for a long time. Like Gator. Although he didn't get away with it at all. He just sucks, and he can't skate street. Because he's in prison. Daewon's also at the top. Dang, you were just listening to all the good people that I didn't list at the beginning. Do I have any opinion on Aaron Cairo? Yeah, fuck that. Why would you buy skateboards from a cult? You mean the guy that ran one of the most successful and biggest YouTube channels for skateboarding that's ever existed, and then didn't have enough money to pay for the warehouse because he gave all of his money to Scientology? That guy? Yeah, fuck him. Dang, pretty, you knew it. It is insane. Things that are being done today were things that were dreamed up in video games years ago. Oh, that's really cool. I know some people that have known Andy Roy. Yeah, that's why he lost the warehouse, and that's why all those people didn't get paid, dude. Is because he had to go pay Xenu instead. That girl he's been doing podcasts with, that's a part of the Church of Scientology. Like, it's dumb. Sure. He does work pretty closely with another Scientologist in the community, though. Although I don't know how much of that guy's money and how much skateboarding's money goes out into Scientology through those people. You know it. Thanks, Sharon. Who's Xenu? You guys don't... All right, listen. I'm not going to teach you about Scientology, but I am going to tell you where to go to learn about it. And I'm going to tell you where to go not to learn about it. Don't go to the Church of Scientology. It's a cult. They're going to lie to you about what they do. Go watch the South Park episode about it. South Park was wildly accurate on their episode. Xenu is an alien overlord, and I'm not even joking, guys. If you don't know about Scientology, go watch the South Park episode about it. No Xenu for... Wait. Xenu doesn't exist. No one for president? Alright, right on. I got you. Do I ever regret my face tattoos? Fuck no. Do you regret not doing them? Because you're the one asking me about it. L. Ron Hubbard wrote a hell of a lot of science fiction now, didn't he? I swear, dude, their episode on Mormonism, extremely accurate. Dum 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 dum. I didn't think we were gonna get on talks about South Park today, but yay! Who doesn't love South Park? Heck yeah! I wouldn't even call it a religion. It's just a straight up grift and cult. It's so obvious now. I don't understand how they gain new members. They're right there on Hollywood Boulevard with Sharon standing there. Yeah, Sharon. I know the person. I know the name of the person at the door because so many people fuck with him. My buddies took a trip out to LA and they were looking for him, for Sharon. Hey, thank you, Shadow. Go take a nap. Both of you, go take a nap. Always good. Make sure you sleep enough. Take care of your body. That's important. You only get one of them. I think it's pretty cool that my viewership's starting to go up when I'm feeling better too. I appreciate you guys a lot. I've been having to do these lives while I've been feeling sick for the past few months, to be honest with you all. I just had some breakthroughs medically that have, I haven't felt this good in years, so I'm glad you guys are here. What does one of the boards cost? $75 for popsicles, and then shapes go up from there. You can make the price differ based on what you add to it. You can add wheel wells, extra plies, collages, all kinds of stuff. So you go to lifeskateboard.com, you can put a board together, figure out the price, and there you go. No, I never did. I learned board making from Sam, the owner and operator of Life Skateboards. He's been making boards since 2012. You guys froze up there for a second. Sorry about that. All right, one more apply to glue up here, and then we will load them onto the press and raise them all up again. Look at that. Lost viewership because of the live freezing up. That's awesome. That's a great question there, Austin. So Austin asked, what kind of wood is used to make boards? So you want maple. Maple is a very malleable yet strong wood. So it's going to bend, and then once it bends and it cures with the glue, it's going to hold in the shape that we make it. Now there's another factor to that, and give me a moment here while I search for the tape that I think I just set down right here, but apparently did not. There it is. You also want maple from a specific region, and that's going to be Great Lakes or Canadian maple. The reason you don't just say Canadian maple is because some of the good maple does come from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. But the reason you want something from that region is you want something with slow growth and long winters. That's why, yes, maple can grow anywhere in the U.S., but it's not good for skateboards if it's quick grown and doesn't have slow growth. You want something that's less porous and more dense wood. All right, setting these over here. We'll bring you guys over this way. Unplug the phone here. You know it. If only I actually got maple syrup out of these, that would be such a cool benefit to the job. Battlefield Earth, I'll check that out. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Austin. All right, so we got to tighten these guys down like we did the last one. And then we'll load these in there. And we're going to load 2 in each mold here. As we said earlier, we can get 3 in each mold safely without losing concave. But you start to mess with more than 4 boards total in a press, start running into the setup time for the glue, and running into issues you don't really want to run into. And as we saw on the last press, yes, that was pretty tight. I don't really want to mess with it when it's tighter than that. Spend a lot of time on adjustment that I'd rather not spend. All right. So we got all these plastic separators here clean before or at the beginning of the live. So now we are going to load these guys into here and double and triple check alignment as we go. Because alignment is what makes these boards come out perfect. If they're not aligned in the press, they're not going to be aligned when they're being cut, not going to be aligned when the graphics put on, and it's not going to be aligned when it gets to you. So if I mess this part up, the board just never gets to you, and then it becomes a blend. That's why this is important. All right, now we just got to throw the centerpiece of the mold in right here. Sorry about that, didn't mean to cough right at you guys. Let me go grab my super high-tech readjustment tool here. Just in case we got to readjust it. Super high-tech right here. Low-tech, high-quality. That's what we're known for here at Life. I say while I'm filming with an AI tripod. Huh. Alright, let's check the alignment on the ends here. Looks like these could go in just slightly. Alright, throw one more separator into the top here. Now these plastic sheets here keep the boards themselves separate and keep some of the excess glue off of the press. So I'm going to raise you guys up so you can watch that. 4 at once, actually. Yeah, so you can press up to 3 in each mold without losing concave. But that's why we have 4 in here. There's 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. Looks like my light just shut off. Fun. All right, let's raise these up and you guys can watch the board start to take shape. Remember, you're watching the kick start to take shape, but inside the press, you're getting concave from edge to edge. And it's a very deep concave. I'm very proud of it. These were hooked up as pneumatic jacks at one point. Yeah, it takes a little more work to do them by hand, but same great results, and eventually we'll hook up the compressor through here. once this almost gets some tight pressure on it, I'm going to recheck the alignment. Slight adjustment here. Very slight adjustment. I don't know how this bottom one went out of alignment without the top one, but there we are. All right. Now we can send this all the way up, and we are good to go. Yeah, most people don't get to see it. The thing is the industry seems to not like to show their process very often. And when they do, they don't like to show the whole thing. Been seeing some, I won't say the name, but I've been seeing a production company post videos of doing screen printing. Little do we know, they're screen printing onto a heat transfer to then heat transfer onto the boards. But, yeah, it is what it is. We'll just do it right here and show you guys everything. All right, see that squeeze out right there? That means there's enough glue. Probably too much. Awesome, I'm glad I get to show you guys this. Do we make the mold or buy it? It's a little bit in between. So I don't make things here, Sam does. Sam's the owner and operator of Life Skateboards. When he started, he did carve his own mold. It's pretty almost impossible to get it exact over and over again. So now we take blocks of maple, press those together and glue them up, and then he designs the mold, and he's got a buddy with a CNC machine that cuts out the mold to the exact concave it needs to be. Hi there, airheads. So graphic design is awesome for a lot of things, like heat transfers and stuff like that. Here at Life Skateboards, we use Lino blocks because we care about the quality of the boards. You could definitely help out with somebody that does screen printing or things like that. However, we do have our artist for the company, and that would be Ben Blakely. But awesome what you're doing there. Art is amazing. Whatever medium you're using. What kind of glue do we use? Tight Bond 2. Good questions here. Thanks, user. I appreciate that. That's funny. All right. Now I'm just going to cover up the glue, and then I am done as far as working goes for the day. I can make my own graphic when we're done here, though. I'm just writing down the time. 5:30. And I'll probably be back either tomorrow or the next day to shape and press some more. I'm going to try to spread out work so that I'm going live with you guys all the time. Nope, this is my job, my friend. Not just a hobby. But thank you, though. That's neat. Neat of you to think that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this tastes like. Nor that it doesn't smell like anything, though. I will say that. Wow, Mr. Ace, I really appreciate that. That makes me happy. Dude, Airhead, that's so rad. And you were doing it when, like, screen printing was big. So that's awesome, dude. You know it. A few years ago, I decided I'm not working outside the skateboarding industry if I can help it. Even if that means I'm struggling, and now I'm here. So, made that decision when I had the opportunity to work at a skate shop, and I will say that was some of the worst experience of my life. Oops. You guys somehow attached to my apron. I wear this so I don't ruin everything I own, because I already ruined most of the things I own. Is there a graph for cutting after press? Let me show you. The graph, I'm not sure what you mean. These are templates. So these are all different shapes that we offer here at Life Skateboards. What happens after these are pressed is they're in the press for 24 hours, and then they cure for 7 days. After 7 days, Sam puts the truck holes in right here, attaches one of these templates through the bottom with hardware, and then runs that template right along this bit right here to cut out the shape. When he cuts out the shape, let me see if I've got one ready to go so I can show you. Do I? Yep, here we go. So when he cuts out the shape, this is what it looks like. And this is an 8-ply, so it does look a little thicker. It looks like that. And this edge needs to be at a 90 to the concave. So the first thing I do here is I bring it to a 90 right here on this belt sander. The reason it needs to be at a 90 is because this is set up to round that off even with the concave. So this is where the edge of the board gets round. This is where it gets cleaned up a little bit further. Right over here on the Mac wheel, it continues to get cleaned up. And then right over here, I do the finish sanding to a 150 on all the boards with the orbital sander. For all this process, I'm wearing a respirator. For this process right here, I don't have a respirator on because we are very fortunate to have a Festool dust extractor. That's a HEPA approved dust extractor. It's awesome. If you're on my lives while I'm doing that step, you will see a ton of people telling me that I need to put a mask on, and then me holding up a pre-written note addressing what they're saying. It's pretty fun. Let's see. What percent are we at now? We're at 18%. Do I want to try it? I might want to risk it. We're going to bring my charger, this port, and we're going to risk going to the printing and shipping studio. Yeah, the backwards sign is awesome. We're going to try to go to the shipping and printing studio and do the graphic on my board. Now we are on Wi-Fi here in this building, and it is a big metal barn. So there is a likelihood I'm going to get dropped from this live. There's a likelihood that the quality is going to drop. So just want to thank you guys for being here. And if you don't already, subscribe so you can catch these lives later. This is a very rare thing that it sometimes works. The last time I tried this, it worked really well. And what's my favorite board I ever made? Probably the one I designed. That would be the Casper 3.0. Although this one right here is up there. This is I called this the Fibula. It's a one-off mutant that was made to look exactly like the X-ray from my broken leg. All right, let's try it. Where'd the tape go? Oh, it's in my pocket. I'm smart, guys. I promise. Can you use old boards to make a press? It's not going to work very well. You can do that with vacuum sealing for yourself, but you're not going to be able to make a lot. Vacuum sealing is a process that... Oh, shit. Storm. That ruined my evening plans. Look at that. Anyway, here's the building right here. That garage right there is the shipping and printing. When we were in Muncie, we had to clean stuff off to be able to just print, ship, all that stuff, because there was dust in the same spot that we were printing the board. So, sorry if the quality drops. Thank you guys for sticking around if it does. I appreciate you all. Let's hope we don't walk over here and I gotta walk back for my keys. That's gonna suck. Man, the snow just, dude, it was 70 degrees yesterday and it's gonna be back to 30 pretty soon. Dude, yeah, the snow is awesome. There's none left. It was 70 yesterday. If nothing lasts forever, does anything really matter? Absolutely. It matters for while it's here, because we're not here forever. So if we're not here forever, then we don't matter. And you matter, I matter, every single person matters. So, yes. Yeah, no, I was skating all day yesterday. All right. We got a little bit of a mess in here. But this freezing up again, it's always at the absolute worst times. It's almost like somebody knows. Sam set me aside a Casper signature for me to do the graphic on. I thought this was a 6-ply for a second. So very rarely do I actually get to have a color ply bottom. So I have a feeling that I'm going to play with that. I have no plan walking into this, by the way. Trying to get you guys plugged in over here. All right, that was a lot of work, but I think I can get you guys on a charger. Almost. I gotta raise you up in the tripod. Sorry. Not only do I gotta charge this while we're working, but we're gonna make this work. All right, so it's gonna be a little hard to see angles on here. Here's a monster board that's going out to somebody. Here's the board. I'm sure you guys have seen this guy. It got broke. It's a 6-ply triple XL panhead that you may have seen skating around Bam Margera's place. That thing has been everywhere and tried by everyone. I can't even remember what broke it, but that thing lived a dang good life. All right, so I'm gonna take a look at my options here. I'll show you guys what Lino blocks are. So this is like a Lino block, and when you guys are looking at it, it's the correct direction. This is backwards, all right? So there is one of our graphics. This is the Barney Fife graphic. It's a hand-carved image, kind of like a big stamp. I'm honestly really surprised that everything stayed going on there so well. So this is my signature graphic here at Life Skateboards. It's a little Casper the Ghost ripping out of the throat of a scarecrow doing a boneless cry stare, because that's what I was doing at the time. Huge shout out to Ben Blakely for absolutely killing that graphic. Let's see. The Lori graphic, that's a good one too. This is my dog, Lori, right here. Yep, these are all hand carved. Ben Blakely is an absolutely insane artist. You need to check him out if you don't know already. Instagram, Facebook, everything. Go support everything he does. Love that guy. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to have Lori peek out of the tail right there. Throw my graphic right in the middle. And let's see, what can go on the nose? What we got here? Anything cool to reach down? Nope, I don't want to do that. I'm indecisive, guys. You guys are seeing me choose what I want on my board. There we go. I'll use the bottom of the bruised heel graphic, and there's another piece for the top. But this is a really cool graphic right here, the bruised heel. Put that right on the nose. All right, cool. We'll do 3 graphics here. Let's see. I'm going to do a white stripe up the board, print everything in white, and then come back with black and print it again. So, let's tape this off here. We use the truck holes to line this up and keep it straight. I'm going to go on the outside of the other truck holes there. I just want a nice thin line of white. And what you're going to watch is going to be an example of a Casper collage. So if you get a board from us, you have the option to get a collage. And if you put Casper collage in the notes, I'm going to do my thing on it. What's the store name? The company name is Life Skateboards. Still have the amazing dog? Absolutely. Yeah, Lori's doing great. She is an energetic little thing. I say little thing. She's an energetic 71-pound thing. We love her to death. Love her to death. She is loving this newer weather, this warmer weather. Although in the snow, she's been burying herself in the snow on walks. It's been kind of funny. All right. So we're going to go across this with white. And let's see. I'm going to use the tiny roller here. Perfect. All right. So where's the white? We use speedball ink. We have an awesome team. I'm on it. Check out Life Skateboard 1010 on Instagram for a full list of the team. And if I'm missing anything in the chat there, you're going to have to let me know. Yep, I'm glad you're seeing it. So when I'm doing the collage, it's going to look something like this, where I'm doing like background patterns, having fun with it, and then I double print with the Lino blocks. When Sam does a collage, he uses a bunch of different graphics and overlays them, makes them look really cool. It's awesome because I learned graphic application here by applying my own graphics. So I ended up with a different style of graphic application than Sam has. So we have some versatility at the company here. Somebody's racing down the road in front of the shop. That would be cool if we weren't where we're at. All right. As you can tell, quite a bit of extensive work goes into these collages. All right, so there's my stripe. I'm going to pull the tape, and now we're going to apply the graphics in white. I always like to have a stripe, a rolled background, something that is the same color as the base print on the graphic. Kind of ties it in together. I seem to make it like that. And if you guys are like, dang, because last time people were like, hey, you're like the Bob Ross of skateboard making. Bob Ross is on my socks. You're welcome. You didn't expect that one today, did you? All right, so we want to center this guy. And sometimes when I do these base prints, I want to smear them. This time I'm going to try to do them clean. And I want a wider roller for this. And why do I want to smear the base prints? Because I want the second print to stand out a lot better. But I'm going to make this one blend into the background just a little bit, because I want to more show off the wood grain on this board than cover it up. So like I said, when you guys are looking at the blocks themselves, you are seeing them backwards because we're using a front-facing camera here. So when you look at the board, everything is going to look backwards when it's printed. Alrighty. I want to do this one slightly off center so I can do the next one in center. Alright, where's the hard roller? Right here. What's up? I'm glad it's not loud for you today. It's usually real loud. Right now, I'm just doing this. It does get loud in this room for the clear coating. We have a polyurethane clear coat that happens right behind us there. And remember, I'm not usually the one applying graphics here. I just do the Casper collages. Every once in a while, I do people's collages. When I see that somebody ordered a Casper board as well, which is this shape, I ask Sam sometimes, like, hey, let me do the graphic on that. I'll do it up a little bit special for him. Every once in a while, I'll do something special for people's graphics that would cost more money just to kind of be nice. You expected a tattoo? There's not very many good ones down here, I promise. I've got like stick pokes on my leg from times I don't remember. Alright, so I like to pull these up corner by corner and get anything that didn't get fully covered. Looking good. Looking good. Ready to pull it. So there's the base print. Right there. Nice, clean, solid print. And now we are going to set this aside. After I do this with it. Alrighty. Now we're going to get Lori on the graphic here. Lori is the doggy. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate you. If you guys want to see some videos of Lori, I do go live at the dog park with her every once in a while. If this storm holds off until I can get home, which it's kind of looking like it's not going to. Dang it, looks like we might have tomorrow at the dog park. I don't know, depending on what I got to do tomorrow, maybe I'll go up to Muncie and skate. Or maybe I'll go out to Waldron and skate. Who knows, I got lots of options. Thank you, the Midwest, for offering so many different indoor skate parks, indoor places. We got Stoke Run over in Mansfield, Ohio. We got the Warehouse down in Bloomington. We got Slam City in Fort Wayne. I mean, there's like Asylum, Fargo up in the Chicago area. We got Hugh Skate Park. And we got a lot of private stuff as well. Killer down south. So much cool stuff. The Midwest is doing pretty damn good as far as skateboarding goes. Sprack. I don't know how I forgot that one. Thank you, Sharon. So whenever we're hanging the block off of the board, I always try to bring something that's the same height to it here. I'm just realizing I didn't get enough of this covered in ink. Tried to not waste ink by covering up spots that aren't going to be on the board, but I undershot that one. Alrighty. Sorry to move you guys around. I keep forgetting how easy this table is to make a shake. If you didn't know, the stair set that's in the graphic with my dog on this one, that's from the local park that we found her at. Lori was dumped and abandoned at the local park that I volunteered to clean up and work with the city on. I got there at 6 in the morning one day to her having broken out of a kennel she was left in. She had rancid food and water she couldn't get to. And we took her in, changed her whole lives for it. We had to move to take her in. And Sam was kind enough to have this graphic made so that we could boost some sales on a pre-sale so I could get more work and afford to move to be able to take her in. I'm forever grateful to Sam for that. There she is. I don't know, I fell in love with her. She's named after the park we found her at. Sometime when it starts getting warm again, she'll be at the park super early in the morning with me while I'm cleaning up trash, making videos with me cleaning up trash. What was I gonna do for this last bit here? Oh yeah, I forgot. I got the memory of a comatose goldfish and the recall of a dead one. So forgive me when I forget things, even though it's the thing we were actively just doing. And don't forget, guys, subscribe, double tap that screen if you like what you're watching, turn on notifications so you can catch my lives, and get yourself a life at lifeskateboard.com. What you're watching now is called a Casper collage. It is me doing my thing on a graphic. This is for my personal board here, but you can get the same style of collage. You can't get the same exact thing because every time it's a little bit different. That up from underneath it, and I roll it all the way to the edge. Yeah, somebody abandoned her. She was so sweet. You walk up, it's a shepherd mixed with something. I opened my Jeep door and she just hopped right in. I mean, the sweetest thing. That was the sign, like, she's meant to be with me. That's rad. I was hanging out at the lagoon where the whole bowl itself is surrounded in boards from the GNS era. Love that. Alrighty. We're going to move on to black ink, which is going to get a little bit faded into gray. Now, if I was doing this for a customer, I would wait in between for the blocks to dry, clean them off, all that fun stuff. But since I'm doing this for myself and I want the board to be done, we're going to just kind of send it. Let's go ahead and send it. All right, so we're going to get black ink on this guy here, and I have them kind of wiping them off in between prints here. I've got to wash all this off when I'm done. I'm going to do that a little bit further here. Kind of tap the block, get anything excess and wet off of there. Already did that with the signature graphic. Eliminates some of that extra stuff from mixing in there. All right, now we're gonna go to the black ink here. And what's really cool is we just use scoops made out of scraps from veneer. They definitely do. She's the best. I mean, we did a lot of training to get her there, but luckily, I'm friends with the owner of Rip It Rampage, if you guys aren't familiar with them. That is a skateboarding dog. It's a nice little pitty. He skates our boards. So his owner gave me some really good training advice, helped me out a lot, gave me access to some cool stuff for training advice. We got her marker trained first, and that has been a huge help with her training. Very clear, somebody just didn't want to take the time to take care of a dog like that needs attention, play, and something engaging all the time. She's not the brightest, I'll say that. She knocked over the chairs the other day trying to run across the chairs instead of walk across the floor. That was pretty neat. I have watched her miss the wall while trying to jump up walls and just run straight into it. But she's also a tank, so. I want to get this good and fully covered here, because this top print is what you're going to be able to see. It helps redefine that bottom print. All right, let's set this on there, spin this around. I said I want to have this slightly off center from that first print. It looks like that's what we did. And I really like how this guy turns out when you get him almost lined up, because the flannel on his shirt pops out really well. And yeah, guys, double tap that screen for me. You guys are watching something I don't normally get to show on here, and somehow the cell phone service is keeping things working. I'm stoked on this. Absolutely, I'm going to be real honest with you. I always told myself that I didn't have the time to take care of a dog properly. Lori forced me to change my mind on that. She absolutely forced me to change my mind on that. Woo, this is looking good already. I want to check the corners. Oh yeah. How did the Life logo transfer? A little bit more on the Casper there. Woo, this is looking good. Sorry, I'm just so you guys are aware, I make these noises while I'm pulling the blocks off when no one is here. I promise. So there's that print. See how it pops out a little bit from that double print there? Is there an old design on the back of the stencil? Our artist likes to doodle. So there are doodles on the back of mine. That was I think he made a lino block of like a really cool house at one point. Again, just check out Ben Blakely. He's rad. He deserves your attention. He deserves your praise. All right, so now we're gonna get Lori on there. Scoop a little bit more ink out of here. This is the first time I've had a color bottom board in a while. Usually this goes to customers. Who's that, Alex? Thank you, guys. I really like how this is turning out as well. That double print has been a fun little discovery. This is the results I get from playing around with my own decks here. All right. I honestly didn't like how the last one was setting. I'm printing these with the majority of the block hanging off the board. That is not easy. I will say that. And the other cool thing about using Lino blocks, we can use all of these on apparel as well. So you can get shirts to match your stuff. I can't wait to see how she turns out either. That makes me happy. There's a Lori. She's saying hi. Will I clear coat it? Absolutely. We do a polyurethane clear coat on our boards. I'm actually probably going to leave this here for Sam to clear coat it for me. That way the ink can dry. I don't do, now all customer boards get a top graphic. I don't do top graphics on my personal boards because you're never going to see it. I use DK on non-abrasive grip tape, and you got to cover the whole thing on with when you're using that. All right, now we're going to put the bruised heel on there. And then this guy's done. If you guys have any questions about board making, feel free to ask. I got you. How do you register each layer? What? How do you register each layer? Elaborate. RCS, you should elaborate for me. Am I registering each layer with the BMV? No, I just know. I just know. Long time doing it. So like when I'm offsetting this right here, I look at the furthest point out on the block and set it in just slightly. So it's going to be perfectly overlaying it, and then I drag it just a little bit. I know for these boards, what center, where it needs to be center. I know that this current block that I'm rolling right now is one of the hardest blocks to print center because the bottom of the shoe is not the baseline for center. Sometimes I measure stuff out to get it perfect, as far as like if I want something perfectly symmetrical across the whole thing, but everything else, I just know what I'm doing. How do we get the bends in the wood? Pressing. The thing that I did for the first hour and a half of the live. If you'd like to, you do have the ability to scroll back in the live and check that. So go ahead and do that for me. We glue them up as they start as 1/16 or 1/20 plies. And once they're glued up, we put them in a press. They sit in their press for 24 hours and then cure for 7 days in a stack of their own concave. Once that's done, Sam cuts out the shape. We go from there. And then I shape them. I do not like how that's sitting. I'm going to figure out the height for my own board here. Yep, we're just stacking shit to make it work. I have committed to this location. Yep, I ask it nicely. Yep. You're 6'2" looking for a custom board. I don't care how tall you are, but I got you on custom boards. We got you, man. If you're worried about a board lasting too long, not being strong enough, you can get an 8-ply from us. But if you go to lifeskateboard.com, you can build whatever board you want. Figure out prices from there. If you have any questions, feel free to ask about it, and I will happily help you out. It's going to be easier if you know what you're talking about with like the website and shapes like that, if you have something direct to ask about. Alrighty, and there we go. You got the dovetailed snake, or I'm sorry, The bruised heel on there. Foot stepping on a snake. All right, so here's my graphic. This is my personal writer right here. This is gonna pop really well with a clear coat. I really like doing these designs and these collages. Sometimes with the customer collages, I try to fill every space. So like we got a little rat graphic, I'll stick a head out there. I also like to use Lori's graphic, just roll her face and make her like peek out of small areas on the board. Let me go ahead and show you guys some examples of graphics. We've got this raven right here. Really cool graphic. This is a graphic specifically designed for the coffin shape. This is a pretty popular graphic. It is our sturgeon. Big old fish. Ben killed it with this one. You know it, Ben. You know it, guys. Here's another one. Another popular one. The knife, which I have tattooed on my arm. We recently got this. You guys are the only ones seeing this, so 102 of you know that we have this back. We have another one of these. We've been missing this top graphic for a long time. This is another top graphic right here. It was a stabby stick. Hey, it's Shell! I just noticed it. Everybody, we were talking about skate park respect earlier, that I was volunteering with at a skate park when I found my dog. Shell is my skate park respect partner that takes care of Lauren's skate park. Huge shout out to Shell for everything. She's awesome. She's great. She runs Lady Skate Squad, which I help out with an event in November every year. Here's another graphic. Dovetailed snake. Is that a life knife? Yeah, it's a life knife. It's a life knife. We got the fife life. We got the knife life. We got the life knife right here too. We got the dovetailed snake right here, so you can get this. And, yep, I did it. That's my signature graphic. There's a squiggle instead of my name because I figured putting my name on myself would be dumb. We got all kinds of stuff here though, guys. We got the Team Fat graphic. We got the Praying Hands graphic. Now this one's a little bit different than most of the Praying Hands you'll see. I know you can't see the details very well. But there's some fingers missing right here. There's the actual fingers and hands of the owner of Life Skateboards. Very accurate. Let's see, we got the twins here. We got the Dewey. We got the Knight. Twins. The Knight. All kinds of stuff. So we got all kinds of options here at Life Skateboards. And remember, whenever you get any graphic, you can get that same graphic as a shirt or a sweatshirt as well. Charcuterie board. If you prepare me one, I'll be real happy about it. I'll tell you that. All right, real quick, I'll show you some other boards. Here's the Outlaw. Look at this thing. Designed for Lawton Outlaw. Yes, that's his name. What else we got in here? A lot of stuff. This is the quadruple XL pan head. Yeah, it's fat. Why not? Got a big stack of popsicles here. Got boards with wheel wells all over the place. And then this is where we store all of our trucks, wheels, grip tape, everything. This table is where all the boards are printed, where all the packages are brought together, and where things are before they hit the mail and on their way to you. Do we have any frog graphics? No, we don't. That is a good point, actually. That is a very good point. We don't. We have this cute little bird, though. Look at that thing. Look at that little guy. But no, we don't. That's a surprise. However, I think that if we took every suggestion that every single person gave us and moved on it and actually made something out of it, the next day somebody would be asking us for something different. You know what I mean? So Sam did. There is another graphic that I'm not going to show you guys because Sam hasn't released it yet. So he has recently done a graphic. I'm not sure when he's going to do another one. Do I skate by myself? I skate myself. I skate with groups. I skate at parks. I skate at private places. I skate at public places. I skate all over the place. I am in a constant state of skating or on my way to the session most of the time. Or recovering from the session, I guess. Alrighty. Ooh, you guys just about fell out of the tripod there. That was scary. Buy it. It would be a good graphic if you'd spend the money on it. And this isn't hypothetical. This is, I'm going to make you commit to it. All right? I don't think I can actually make you commit to it, but I'm going to say I'm doing it. Unfortunately, no. I really wish. We're here and we're off the tripod. Hold up, guys. That was bad. I got to figure something else out. I had this on the top of the phone the whole time to leave a light on there. Oh, awesome. I call him Wade down. That's great. That's funny, man. But right in here is where we do all the clear coating. This is a pretty cool giant egg right here. I wonder if that's for Chuck. It might be for Chuck. But sorry to drop you guys like that. I really wish that I had a 1986.5 ready to go that I was 100% confident was a 1986.5 for you. I'm sorry about that, bud. But remember that it's all the same concaves. It's all things coming out of like 4-5 different layups and uncuts. So it's all going to look really similar based on the template. The photos on the website are photos of actual boards. And then if you want some more examples, you can go to Life Skateboards 1010 on Instagram and check all those out. But all right, guys, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to clean up and go from there. I got to clean up a lot of Lino blocks and clean up the rest of what I did earlier. Thank you guys for subbing. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, all the dumb stuff I'm supposed to say for YouTube. And then get a life, because then when you're telling your friends to get one, you can yell, "Get a life!" And you just want them to get a high-quality handcrafted board. You're not insulting them. But I will say results may vary. I have a bunch of very angry people that left me messages after I told them to get a life with no context. But, yep, have a great time, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a great live. So you guys have a great evening. Whatever you do, go be kind to somebody. Go make a stranger smile. That's a good way to do it.